So we're going to start with Tamara Faith Berger. Now, Tamara, I think a lot of people, I know certainly down in the bookstore about a year ago, when Maidenhead came out, everyone was excited. I think everyone was certainly trying to sort of peek in. I don't know if you've seen the cover, but there's a little exposed flap there that I think was incredibly intriguing. So a lot of people, I think, in that alone wanted to sort of get into those shadows. And I think a lot of people did. But Tamara's here tonight with a collection of her first two books put out by Gutter Press about a decade or so ago, if you can believe. I can't believe that a decade's passed. I don't know if anyone else can. So collected in this one volume, we've got Lie With Me and Way of the Whore, which were put out by Gutter Press a bunch of years ago. And so we're going to get Tamara up here to read. So if you'd welcome her, I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew. Thanks for coming. So I'm going to read a section from The Way of the Whore. And this section is the beginning of Mira's first sexual relationship. John came back to my work the next Saturday. He came back the next week and the one after that. I started to be able to look at him a little bit more. We never said much after that first time, just the regular hi, how are you, and fine, how are you, which was okay because I still did feel a bit creeped out that maybe he was coming in just because of me. He'd started giving me pretty big tips after buying his coffee too. At least $1 in coins, pressing them right into my palm. It always felt like he touched me too long when he did that. I thought maybe it was just me though, and I was worrying about it for nothing. Then, one Saturday, John came in to see me 3 times during my shift. Right before he left the last time, he leaned in really close. He smelled kind of weird, like my mother when she made meat. John said, "Do you like Chinese food? Have you ever gone out with your friends for Chinese food? I know a really good restaurant near here." I shrugged my shoulders and John touched my arm lightly. "I'll see you later, okay?" That was the day he met me outside after I finished work. It was pretty warm out and he was sweating through his t-shirt. I could see the hairs on his chest stuck down in a line. He was shaking his head a bit, smiling at me. I was wearing a purple tank top and a purple skirt that came down to my knees. I wish that I was wearing something over my top. John touched my arm again. This time he gave it a squeeze. "I bet you'd like something sweet to drink after work. You must be tired." "No, it's okay," I said. We started walking down the street, and I could feel my thighs rubbing together under my skirt. It made me want to sit down and cross my legs. John went into a variety store and got me a ginger ale. He bought himself cigarettes. I started drinking too fast, straight from the can, and I got the hiccups. We both laughed at the high-pitched sounds that were coming out of me. "I'm gonna have to scare you, Mira." I couldn't believe I was walking down the street laughing with this guy. I couldn't believe that no one was really looking at us either. I didn't know if John knew I was only 15. But I didn't feel like doing anything to stop him when he put his arm all the way around me, or when his fingers started tickling my neck. He kept joking that it was to scare me out of my hiccups. We turned down a street I'd never been on. There were a few old-looking houses beside this huge apartment building with foil on the windows. I saw 2 kids waving down at us from a balcony. I was going to wave back, but John shifted my shoulders to turn us off that street. I felt like a car he was steering. I didn't ask where we were going because John started asking me questions out of the blue like, "Are your mother and father still married? Do you have a boyfriend?" Yes, I said. Then no. John was laughing at me. I kept swallowing instead of changing what I was saying. But you probably remember who told you about sex the first time, don't you? John lit a cigarette and looked at me. We were walking pretty fast. Listen, he said. The first person who told me about sex was my uncle. He wasn't much older than me, 6 years or something. We were just kids, you know, but it pretty much scared the shit out of me. He said it like this. A man gets on top of a woman and opens her up with his dick. I swear that's what he said. I didn't know what he meant, but I knew I wanted to, you know. Who wouldn't? A man opens a woman up with his dick. I'd never even seen a woman naked, not even my mother. And my uncle just goes, watch me, I'll show you. I wasn't saying much back, so he started wrestling with me the way we always did. I was on the floor, and I remember I was trying to look up at what he was doing, but I couldn't really see, you know. I think he was holding himself through his pants. Then he was kneeling between my legs, and I heard him laughing, going, okay, Johnny John, you're the woman now. And he started spreading my legs, really fucking wide. It felt weird, you know. It felt all fucked up. I was just a kid who didn't know what was what. So the next thing I know, he's pulling off his pants. They're down to his knees, and his cock is out, you know, sticking straight out. And the only thing I could think was, man, that's big. What did I know? Fuck, my first hard dick. And I guess it made me get one too or something, because I felt like reaching down and putting my hand in my shorts. My uncle was over me, right? He was almost lying on top of me, and he started sticking his dick up the little space between my shorts. I could feel it rubbing on my leg. He was pushing it more and more up there, and then it squirted, yeah, right up my shorts. I thought it was piss, that I pissed myself or something, but my uncle just jumped off me, and I was lying there thinking I wet myself. Fuck, why'd that feel so good? John stopped. He was rubbing his face with his fingers. It's weird to tell you that. That's fucked up shit, huh, Mira? No. What, you don't think that's weird? No. But I felt weird, as if there was gas in my chest, trapped. Wow, you're the first one then. If I ever tell a woman that story, she just kind of freaks out and thinks I'm gay or something. No, I said again. I wanted to know more. Like, did it happen again? Did you and your uncle actually ever have sex? John threw a cigarette on the ground in front of us and wrapped his arm tightly around my shoulders. We must have looked like a couple. So what happened to you, baby? I laughed inside at him calling me that, baby. Nothing. Nothing, really. My cousin told me something. What? How'd she say it to you? It was nothing. I mean, it was just him and some of his friends in our basement. Sounds interesting, John laughed. Come on, tell me. No, they were just telling me that sex happened between a mother and a father. Yeah, go on, it's all good. I'd never said this to anyone. Go on, Mira, you can tell me. John started rubbing the back of my neck. Remember what the fuck I just told you?